Hello and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home. Well, we just got a dumping of compost here, and as you can see, it is almost gone. We got 2 yards of compost, and to me this is like 1 yard left back. And we've already started to spread it around in the yard. And compost makes a big deal in any garden, especially with the vegetables and the flowers. Really helps to enrich the soil. And you could see the difference between the soil. Now this is the composted right here, and then this is the regular texture or color of the soil. And so the composted soil is just so rich and dark and filled with nutrients and good things for the plants, and so that our garden can thrive. So just in this section alone, we've laid down some compost, and my husband kind of laid it down thick and heavy. And so these perennials are going to do very well, are going to thrive and grow. And you could see the difference. It's just beautiful. It makes the garden look really healthy and rich against the green of the grass. And I just really love how this is setting us up for success, because the soil makes the difference in any garden. It's the soil that's going to help, along with, of course, water and sunlight and light, depending on the light that's needed for the plants, but definitely the soil. So we're going to do very well here. I may end up having to ask for another load of earth because we have a large garden here, and there are a lot of areas that are going to need to be covered with the soil. So it's a good thing. The tulips are definitely starting to open up. We have had the joy of the daffodils, and now even we can see that the fruit trees are starting to flower. But it is the time of the tulips here, and I just love this combination. These tulips were planted about 2 or 3 years ago, and they are now coming up and multiplying and just looking very, very good. And so what I have to do is to really give them a chance to get as much sunlight as possible, the leaves, and when they die back, not to remove the leaves right away when the flowers wither, to allow the leaves to die back on their own. As you can see here too, that these daffodils are on the way out. So what I would do is go through and just pinch them off, because you don't want them to go to seed. You don't want the daffodils to go to seed. You want them to work on putting energy back into the, you see here, this is it going to seed. You want the energy to go back into the bulb, so that next year I will have daffodils. They will return. So what I have to do is like go through and just pinch off the withering blooms, and it kind of tidies up the garden too as well. It just makes everything look a little bit more tidy. But of course, it is the tulips that we're excited about. And you could see other things coming in as well. Soon this whole bed is going to be filled, and you're not going to see any soil at all. It's going to be covered with beautiful, beautiful perennials and different things. One of the things that I've done with that compost is add them to the pots here. Just top off each of the pots with the compost, and that's just going to help the soil and give some nutrients to the different bulbs that I've placed in here. And this was oregano. This is oregano. Actually, I know I have time there, but this is oregano. And I just topped it off so that the oregano can get some nutrients from the compost here. I do love these red tulips. Red seems to just work in my garden. And the red tulips are reliable. They come back regularly. And I have red tulips that I planted. And I planted these tulips long time ago, good like 10 years or so. And they have returned and multiplied. And the secret is to allow them to die back naturally. Allow them to die back, and they will come back again. I already see that the lanium here is starting to flower. You can see the yellow flowers there. It looks nice with the tulip. Now, in the pots, I placed over here the cannas, and just giving them a chance to catch themselves. So they're over here. This is a warmer section, and I believe that they will do well here. Here in this upper bed, where I'm calling my herbal tea garden, I put down some of the soil here, the compost here, because I want to freshen up this area. I've actually removed some of the hostas here, and I'm going to use this area to plant out my tomatoes. They did very well last year, but now with some additional compost, I'm going to add some more. And you could see the difference between the soil, right? So I'm going to add some more compost here and lay out the tomatoes here. So the tomatoes are going to be here. I was thinking of putting the tomatoes over here as well, too, on this side. That's why I have the tomato cages there, but I'm not sure. But I definitely am going to put tomatoes over here. And I'm going to add some of that compost to this bed here. I may not use this so much for herbs, but actually plant some more vegetables in this bed. I might put the okra, the eggplants, and others here. But I will intermingle it with the herbs. I think that's what I'm going to do, because I want to plant more food. So I want this space to be used for food more than anything else. So that's my thinking. I can already see some of the seeds that I planted earlier coming up. Like, for example, that's the radish. You can see that? The radish coming up. And I planted kale here too, and that is coming up as well. This is chives. They will flower soon. But then over here, I had planted beets, turnips, and carrots earlier. And I can see the turnips here. These are the turnips coming up. I'm going to have to thin them out. And then here, these are the beets. And I see here, right here, these are the carrots. And there are other things coming up as well. Over here, these are the radish. So I'm going to go through and really tidy up this bed, give it some compost, thin it out, and work it. And in the meantime, let's enjoy the daffodils and the tulips there. Beautiful. And just a beautiful day. So up here in this garden, I'm going to have to get some of that compost and add to my plants that are up here. And give them a little boost, especially for the roses. They're going to need a little boost with the compost. But I also seeded a lot of things, so I'm kind of ambivalent about just throwing the compost out here because I don't want it to smother those wild seeds. So I think I'm going to be very strategic and put the compost around the shrubbery and help them out. I love these yellow tulips here with these daffodils. I think they work very well together, and that's something I might add is some more yellow tulips next year, or creamy colored tulips in this area. I love them with the violas. They look really nice. I love this whole bed. And then on this side we have the tulips. They're doing very well too. Things are growing and getting better and better. I am going to add some compost to my fig tree there, and I also have the hibiscus that can benefit from it. It's kind of hard because they're surrounded by the beautiful, what I'm going to have beautiful white anemones, little like flowers. And it's going to be really pretty here later on in the spring. But for right now, on this sunny day, this garden is looking very nice. The tulips have opened up here in the front. I didn't plant any fresh tulips, but they've returned, which is really nice. I love the yellow, and I love the purples and the colors here. Soon, though, we will have a lot of alliums purple sensation and other types of alliums here in this bed. But this is nice to see these tulips return that I had placed here the year before. It does give a lot of joy and color to this section. Just to know that things are blooming, it's a good thing. The garden is transitioning again, and it's really setting up for a lot of good things to happen. It's almost like if it's catching itself. And I'm starting to see a lot of the tulips opening up and also setting up to provide their display. Now, last year I did not plant any new tulips in the fall, so these are tulips that are coming back from the past plantings. But yet there are other parts in the garden where I did plant fresh tulips, and they are responding very well. But I do like how the garden looks right now. It's fresh, and especially with this fresh compost, it just has a really beautiful appeal. A sense of new beginning. A new season, new opportunities, new experiences. It's just really nice. Thank you for joining me here at Catherine's Garden and Home today. I hope you enjoyed this little walk around in the garden, and also understanding the importance of soil and really adding compost to your garden so that it could be rich and flourishing for the year. My goal is to have a beautiful garden and to enjoy each and every season in it, starting now in the spring into the summer, the fall, and even in the winter. Well, let us come together and continue to enjoy your time in your garden as well as we grow, 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 grow together in Catherine's Garden and Home. That's right. Grow, 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 grow together. Have a wonderful day. Bye.